before I start, I just need to make a disclaimer that last year's speech was obviously much better than this one is going to be. This week's Parsha, we have the whole episode of the Meraglim. We know the Meraglim... We know the Meraglim were punished for speaking so poorly of Eretz Yisrael and not having faith in Hashem. The only question is that Rashi points out that these Meraglim were the Gedolei Hador. They were the Nesiim. So how could it be that these Gedolei Hador, people who if they were alive today we'd wait hours in line to get a bracha from, could sink to such a low level? In order to answer this question, we should look at the two Nesiim who did not sink to this level and who did not get punished. Those were Hoshea ben Nun and Kalev. Now the next question is, why were these two not punished? The last question is, why is he saying a serious Torah? We'll answer all these questions, not to worry. The reason that Hoshea ben Nun and Kalev did not get punished is because they saw that they were going to be leaving their homeland, current homeland where they were raised, and going to a foreign land, which Eretz Yisrael at that time was a foreign land, and they knew they had to prepare, and that required setting up Gedarim. We know that Hoshea ben Nun, Moshe changed his name to Yoshua, and it says someone who had their name changed also, changing a name can help a lot. True story. Either way, and Kalev went to his forefathers Kfarim in order to dive into be saved from the terrible tragedy that was going to happen. And we can improve it a step further. That Rashi says that when Moshe changed Yoshua's name, he knew that something bad was going to happen. And it's possible to say, I don't know if this is true, and I sound very Rivnus right now, but it's very possible to say that the reason that Moshe knew that the Nesiim were going to mess up, the other ones, was because they weren't preparing properly. He saw them, they were just sitting around, I don't know, getting their navigational tools ready, and not preparing properly. So we see the idea and the necessity for when you move on to prepare properly. For the last 2 years, or a year, or some of us even more, we've been in a bubble. A wonderful environment where growth is encouraged, Torah is in the air, and Avodat Hashem is on the headlines. We've been sheltered from the rest of the world. Now we must go back. Like the Meraglim, we must go from the place where we have grown and become Shark Yeshiva Bachrim to a world that has gone to the gutters. We will be faced with many more challenges, each one 100 times harder than any we have faced in Yeshiva. If we don't prepare for this, and we don't set up Gedarim, we have no chance. We should take the lesson that we were taught by Yoshua and Kalev and do all that we can to prepare. Because once you get off that plane, it may be too late, depending on where you land, I guess. It's a scary thought, but it's a realistic one nonetheless. Just walking in the city, one can be over so many breaches of Shmiras Yadayim without even thinking. We need to be honest with ourselves and set up filters, both metaphorically and literally. And if we do this, we can succeed. But not just in our own Avodas Hashem and self-growth, but we can help influence our families and communities. We should take what we got from this wonderful yeshiva and spread it throughout the world. Okay, now to the actual speech. Just a quick few announcements. Just going to make a few short announcements. And that's how I got my sukkah. And that's how you got your life. Now get up and dance! Everybody, welcome to the DRS Seudas Preida. Before we get too much into the speech, I'd like to start by thanking the Rosh Yeshiva. Thank you to our esteemed Rosh Yeshiva. You have made our year so incredible, always inspiring us to be the best we can be and to grow. The Sichot, the Shir Klolis, the incredible Chazanos on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and of course, your huge presence in the base. Whenever we need a few seconds of inspiration, we need not look any further than that incredibly comfortable looking chair, and of course, the Gadol Hador who's sitting in it. Thank you so much for all that you do to help us out, and thank you for moving your office to the top floor to be closer to the guys. We appreciate everything you do and the amazing environment you've created and allowed us to learn in. Thank you. I was also asked to announce that nothing to do with financial cutbacks, the yeshiva will no longer be providing running water. As the Russian security guard would say, Hello and welcome to the Sha'alvim Seudas Preida 2014. The only Chadar meal that you sort of kind of want to be at. Before I actually start, again, I want to thank the one man that really helped me the most with my tremendous growth, and the man that I owe my life to, Mr. Carnegie himself. Let me start by introducing myself. You see, last year I was able to say that my name was Eli Rosenberg and introduce the fact that my nickname was Kleis. This year it is the opposite. My name is Kleis, and just about no one calls me Eli Rosenberg. In fact, earlier this year there were a few awkward incidents where people really did not know that was my name. I'll share one. So, as you know, the dorms, the greatest part about the dorms in Sha'alvim is that all the names of who's in the room are printed there in case you forget your roommate's name, story. And so my door was open, it had the name Eli Rosenberg, Avi Borgen, Yosef Badowitz on it, great room. And, alright. And someone was walking by and they were saying, I'm looking for Eli Rosenberg. So I said, yeah, what's up? So for some reason, and I still thinking back, I have no idea why, I was in charge of a Sheirut list, and I really don't know why. And he came into my room and he said, I want to get on a Sheirut. I said, alright, sure, I'll put you down. He said, wait, I thought Eli Rosenberg was in charge. I said, I am Eli Rosenberg. He said, I thought your name was Kleis. This happened yesterday. I know what you're all thinking. When you just get to speaking about the parsha already, jokes are great, but let's hear another Dvar Torah. Well, lucky for you, I can read the crowd. So here's a short idea on the parsha. I may have actually heard this in the name of the Gra, but I'm not sure. This week's parsha is Parsha Shlach. We know that in Gematria, you're allowed to be off by one. In the Gemara, one is Beis. So if we had a Beis to Shlach, we get B'Shalach. And we know the famous for it. Az Yashir Moshe Yisrael Et Yashir Azos L'Hashem. Wow. The only group of people who actually know that song is sitting here. Let's start off the Akar Satov with the wonderful Rebbitzins. One of the greatest things about having the Rebbeim live on campus is that we get to see how a little Jewish family life is lived. Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes at any time of the day, night, or even the night. And of course, thank you for enhancing the program with the delicious refreshments. Your kindness makes us feel at home and welcome. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Stretch, you hear me? Alright. It's been a crazy year, full of so much hot. Topics such as women wearing tefillin, the whole Haredi army thing hit Sha'alvim in full force. But there was nothing quite as controversial, hawk-worthy, and spoken about as the Rav Libor method. Rav Libor Shir has really been the subject of many a hawk. Whether it was the first Baicham or the Sherut incident, Rav Libor Shir has kept us interested. Rav Libor, you have brought back the idea of a breakfast nap. Your davening every day has been unbelievable. You do it with such passion, devotion, fervor, and most importantly, speed. Thank you. Give your plug every week, and it's really a tremendous thing. You do all that you can to help our year go well and successfully. Thank you very much. Pilot. Last year I mentioned how I sat next to you and watched your every move. I still do. So it made complete sense to me when this year you got up and went to the other side of the base bedroom. But like a man on a mission, I persisted and followed you. Call me crazy, but I'm just addicted to that great smell of what once was the Sha'alvim coffee. I knew I'd made it in the world of humor when you told me that I had 2 good jokes in one day. One was a line about how my answer was the other half of Rebbe's Chatzi Tshuva. And although the other joke I made was really just me completely misreading a Rashi, it was still a compliment, and I put it into my pilot journal. But out of all the things you've done for us, answering loads of questions on Makias, giving Allah Chaburos and Ian Kyle, and of course your great modestly named sefer, Shelas Chacham. The one that had the biggest impact was when you joined me in a Frisbee game. I remember when you showed up in your sports attire, and by then I made a black baseball hat. I don't know where this is supposed to go. I just want to mention that story. Either way, thank you for all the help. Your love and commitment to Torah is something that we all strive for. Thank you very much. Doesn't goddess me. Replacing Jack is no easy task, but you have taken it on and thrived. There were so many reasons for you to throw in the abnormally large set of keys. Like, no hot showers for a week, a ceiling falling in, the shower's still not working, the AC's not working, the shower's still not working. The shower's still not working. But you kept on writing your strongly worded emails and taking care of as much as you could. And we appreciate that. You've also been accepted into the Frisbee belt with open arms and short shorts. But Rashba goes much further than that. On a personal level, it is those fresh cups of coffee you make for me in the morning that you do for no other reason than chesed and sharing. And let me just say, after having a cup of that stuff he calls coffee, I figured out how Dublin is always so energetic. And on a general level as well, you have really tried your best to create a strong sense of Shalom. We will really miss you next year. Good luck in college, and thank you so much for a tremendous year. We all love you. Devir Ayin Bar Asher, our man behind the scenes. Thank you so much for making sure that all the technical aspects of our year went smoothly. You always made sure our laundry got taken out and took care of everything so that we didn't have to. Thank you so much. Rav Hut. Unfortunately, last year, I didn't have the opportunity to realize just how great, inspiring, and heartwarming your wife's amazing cooking is. I mean, the Cookie Hut. Maybe one of the best additions to Sha'alvim in the last 50 years. Although, come to think of it, there's not really much to compete with. It's basically between the annoying fence that makes us walk the long way no matter where we're going. Oh, but if it's a long way one way, then it's a short way another way. No. That's the magic of the fence. We also had the institution of the security guards, who I believe get paid to pre-screen every single piece of media on the internet. But the security guards with whom you are forced into the awkward Boker Tov situation. When walking by, you say Boker Tov, and one of two things happens. Either one, they ignore you, or two, the guy responds back, Boker Or. Why does he say Boker Or? That's like when you wish Rebbe a good Shabbos, and he outdoes you with a, have a great Shabbos. And of course, there was the addition of the new dorms, which at their current state of existence serve merely as an inconveniently placed burning ground, cutting off our short 5-second walk to the mosque. But I feel like we got off topic. What are we talking about? Food. No. Rav Hut. Rav Hut. You do all that you can to help us have an amazing year. You are a Shalom Nation for the Shana Aleph guys. You give a great vibe to your Vad guys, and of course, an even better vibe to the Shana Bet guys. Your Vad guys would like to thank you for such an amazing battle year. They feel they've really grown, and your shir as well loves you and appreciates all you've done. I know that we Shana Bet guys love the vibe you give to us, as it is practical, entertaining, insightful, and most importantly, no, I'm not going to say food, it ends at 11:15. Which shows your sensitivity towards our schedules and need for sleep, so thank you very much. I really cherish the kesher we have, or at least had, only a few minutes ago. Thank you. Rav Orlean, our Shalom Nation of great heights. Thank you so much for always being there and being around during night theater to help us chazer and learn. You always take the time to answer our questions with clarity and patience. And of course, we all use your Ikari Tosos list to skip the really long Tosos stand. Thank you for all the help. Rav Reich. Last year, I thanked you on behalf of your shir. I was unable to share any personal stories besides that really awkward Poland train story, or should I say the other really awkward Poland train story. You picked up on this, and during one of our basketball games that I thought for some reason was a good idea for me to partake in, you came over to me and said, and I apologize because I cannot do the Kurtz-like Rav Reich impression, so I did to settle for my not as manly voice. Maybe this year you won't just have to quote my shir. To which I responded something to the extent of, So I decided that I would try and shove myself into your Shana Bet rom-coms. It was amazing, getting to see your great organizational skills as you brilliantly and systematically did your Burgers Bar rom-coms, and to be able to see your genius and great tips for all aspects of the future, none of which can be recorded because of how funny you are. I remember I remember when I received my first wrong SMS, I had to pinch myself to make sure I wasn't dreaming. And then when I got to go for a meal after the whole super awkward text invite incident, I knew I had made it. As what? I don't really know, but I had made it. And I'm really starting to understand the Ram sanity and the Ram obsession. Your shir loves you and all that you do to make their year tremendous. And thank you on a personal note for allowing me to join your rom-coms to build a kesher with you. I have to admit, I'm still incredibly intimidated by you, but you've really enhanced my year. Thank you very much. Rav Yammer, I want to say 3 things about how unbelievably of a Rebbe you are. I remember last year when Rebbe told me that he was going to be Sgan Rosh Yeshiva, I was thinking, how can Rebbe have the time for this? He's so busy all the time. His phone is permanently vibrating from calls from the presidents of various countries. And he never sleeps. But of course, like any task that Rebbe takes on, he succeeded. And it was amazing to watch you work your magic. You still made time for your shir and their needs, and you lived a broad life that consisted of shir, yeshiva, and family, and not a double life. Thank you so much for all that you've done for us, on a personal level and as a yeshiva. We are so proud of Rebbe on the printing of his new sefer, V'harevna. I mean, Sha'alvim halacha. No, B'netiv halacha. Everyone loves you, and I hope to be able to stay in touch in the future. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me and all of us over the past few years. Rebbe, the Rosh Yeshiva kind of stole my speech. Rebbe, like all men, you realize that at a certain age, it's just more enjoyable to hang out with girls than boys. Well, the Rosh can say it, but I can't. So we all understand why you're taking your talents to Tapio next year. I mean, seminary girls totally need a Rebbe who knows Shas by heart in just about every parish ever ran. We really miss you. We will really miss you and your great sense of humor. Your Vod loves you and would like to thank you for a great year of fun, Torah, and some of the oddest soups one could procure. Of course, we can't thank Rebbe without thanking his wonderful and energetic laptop, without which Rav Yammer Sefer would not have existed. And of course, the Rebbetzin. Rebbetzin, you too will truly be missed. Your personality is unparalleled, and all the guys love sharing their scariest and funniest Rebbetzin moments. But I think I win, as I am, or I guess at this point was, the Rebbetzin personal trainer. So thank you, Rebbetzin, and we will all really miss you. And back to Rav Emmett. We wish you much hatzlacha in your job switch, and in all your future pursuits. In keeping with the no Brits and Sha'alvim policy, it is with much sadness that I announce that you won't be here next year. Thank you so much for all you've done for us, and we will really miss you. Rav Cohen. Taking pictures. You know, you learn a lot being Chabrusas with Yigal for a year. Wow, this can go in so many different ways right now. I learned that every Rebbe can really be a Sha'alvim. And the one Rebbe who we knew we could always turn to with any question on any Gemara, when our pilot was either bombarded or brewing another cup of Joe, was Rav Cohen. And in case that's not enough to prove of how great Rav Cohen is, try this one on for size. He learns with Usher Becker. Rav Cohen, I really appreciate how even though I was trying to bet this year, and we could have just had those awkward pass-bys where we never said a word to each other, you instead made sure that we had awkward conversations. Thank you so much for all the work you do in making rooms. It's been a great 2 years, and I'm happy to say that you were a big part of both, so thank you. After last year's speech, I really tried to step up my game in the cool department, but to no avail. However, it was a pleasure working with you on recruiting. One of the pros of our Bris Shir plug is that we get to hear a Zug from Leibowitz once a week. It was fascinating to learn about all the personalities of the Rishonim, Achronim, and of course Provence. And you really showed us that once you have a Shem cool, you can never lose it. Thank you for being there for guys to talk to, and for all the shirim you give. We wish you much luck on being around next year. Brooke Waxman, thank you. This is like after Preida shops at Mincha, and everyone's like hoping that there's going to be like no tachana. Thank you so much for running the American program with such passion and humility. You work behind the scenes, planning great tulim, enjoyable events, and awesome speakers. I don't think Sha'alvim could have found someone with more heart and devotion. But you don't just run the American program and make sure we have good trips, etc. You spend time with us. You lead the tulim. You come to Shabbatons, and this year you even learn with a very zoch Shana Aleph Buffer. It's incredible how you managed to succeed so well at both. So thank you. I'm going to really miss whatever it is that we have between us. Our conversations never end where they started, and are never boring. Rebbe taught me just how far silence and a smile can go. Thank you so much, Rebbe. Yair Sledowski, Harav Sledowski. In Pirkei Avos it says, the work is a lot and the day is short. And so it is with much regret that I have not had the chance to get to know you better. But I know that all the Resh guys love you, and they appreciate your patience as you help them get through Seder and prepare for Shir. Thank you so much for all the help you provide. The South Side, the most clutch Sha'alvim. I had the zechus to learn next to you in the beginning of the year, and I got to have personal chavrusos, watch you brilliantly and elegantly answer questions in that great South African accent, and of course, watch you rock those short-sleeve button-downs. Thank you so much for being there for us day in and day out. I really appreciate all the help you've given me and the kesher we've built. And everyone appreciates all that you do for us. Thank you very much. Your blessing. Unfortunately, this year, you were working on finishing school, and that meant less of you around yeshiva. And yet, you were still able to meet with many guys and help them with their year. I appreciate you always making time for me to talk or just chill. It really enhanced my year. It also really helped my image, as I can now tell people, yeah, this man was blessing, no biggie. You've helped us all, and I can't express properly how much we appreciate all that you've done for us. Thank you so much. Donnie Abel. Your VOD is legendary, and the guys always brag and speak so highly of it. I know that they appreciate all the effort you put into VOD and all the help and advice you give both in and out of VOD. But I myself got a taste of your fun yet serious persona as you became an honorary member of our Frisbee games, or as Elon calls it, our disc crew. Like your VOD, you came ready to play and did all that you could to make the games fun and improve the skill level across the board with comments like, "Come on, man, that throw was wild." Guys, no wild throws. Like VOD, there was a deeper message to this, that in life, we often want to make that long, seemingly easy throw, but you shouldn't. You have to work the Frisbee down the field. I and Adam Brash. Unlike VOD, you never brought food. But as a group, and by that I mean me, we decided to bestow upon you the ultimate Frisbee Award, which is, wait for it, a used and cracked Frisbee. The only thing to have been in the new dorms and made it out alive. Thank you. Rafa.
Right in front of you.
Oh. We don't really have much in common, but this year I discovered that there are two things that we do have in common. One is Daf Yomi, Mazel Tov by the way, and the other is that we both completely overdress for, well, me everything, and you Siyumin. You showed us your brilliant creative side as you dressed up as Morty Ackerman for Purim, and your serious side as you took on the role as Rav Yamar Sha'alvim. You were a great sport. I remember when we were making the Purim meal and we realized we needed a baby. We all were thinking, who on earth is going to give us a baby? We went and half-jokingly asked Rafa, and without even telling him why, or why we needed his baby, or what we were going to do with him, Seabag was strapped up with his baby on his chest. It is this chillness that so many of us can learn from. Now, I'm not saying to give away your babies to strangers. Although. But sometimes we have to have bitachon that things will work out. So thank you, Rafa, for teaching us this valuable lesson. My father, Avi Mori, Yaakov Gackner, I still have fond memories of the unbelievable VOD we had last year. And yet, when I hear how highly your new guys speak about it this year, I still get jealous. I guess you got the popcorn down pat. Which just proves... Where are you, man? I'm talking as if I know where you are.
I think you left.
So, either way... okay. Which just proved that you were always looking for new ways to improve VOD. Although I heard some creepy lights-off candle type ceremony went on last VOD, but we won't get into that. I remember how you would always come to us and ask us how VOD was and how it could be better. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to be so VOD conscious anymore. Your VODs are great and everyone loves you. That's why almost all your guys are coming on back. I always love turning around in the base and seeing... Oh, sorry, I wasn't sure. Oh. I always love turning around in the base and seeing my VOD sister Eliana sitting there glaring at me, knowing that she threw up, that she will always have the fact that she threw up on me under her belt. Or should I say, under mine. Either way, thank you so much on behalf of your current VOD, and thank you so much from me on all that you do to help us enhance our year. Yonatan C. I'm going out on a limb here. Yonatan C's VOD must be awesome. While among some of the guys in your VOD, I happened to brought up VOD, and they all smiled and said, "It's amazing, I love it." C, you don't just bind books and Sparta, you bind our hearts. Thank you for all the positive energy that you bring to the base, and that friendly smile is contagious. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Last year, one of the complaints I received after my speech was that I was too nice to the Sha'alvim rebellion. I did explain last year that this was because I planned on going to one of their shiurim, and it would just be really awkward. But the people have spoken, so let's begin. Rav Ezra. You are an unbelievable mashkiach. You are always smiling, and you really light up the base medrash with your positive attitude and the passion for what you do. You are great at reading people and helping guys out. Although I will point out that in the future, if possible, we would love to sleep in beds for our Shabbat homes. You try and make our year as great... No, seriously. That was the most serious thing I said. You try and make our year as great as possible. Whether it be making your son jump off a huge cliff on one of our Tiyulim for our entertainment, or your weekly VOD discussing different hashkafos. You get so into it that A, you dress up, which I have to say is adorable. And B, you just keep going and going and going. I know that we have all grown tremendously this year, and you are a huge factor in that. But out of all the things that you've spoken about, I have to say that the one that really hit home for all of us was the tachposet. I remember sitting in the ulam, mesmerized by how many times you could use the word tachposet. Every time in a different intonation, and every time me still not knowing what on earth the tachposet was. But I have to say that we are all deeply indebted to you for all that you've done for us. Thank you so much. Rav Turetsky. Let's start off with the obvious. Talmidim love and adore you. They laugh at every joke you make. Every joke! I had the pleasure to join a few of your shiurim over the year, and I saw firsthand just how small your sits really are. I mean, I counted at least 3 times where none of the Schweppes seltzer actually got into your mouth. But when I was done creepily observing your drinking habits, I saw just how great and relatable you are, both in and out of shiur. Observing you reminded me of a great Rambam. So I will speak by the Rambam. The Rambam says the following. The Rambam gives a beautiful shot. And we're about to see it. The Rambam says the following. Actually, come to think of it, I want to chazer the points we've said so far and add one more point. So far said that your shiur loves you. They laugh at every word that comes out of your mouth. And how relatable and great you are. The last point I like to say was actually a quote. Rami Blitzko says, the man, also. Rav Turetsky, there's a reason that your makom is always full. And it's not just because Rose sits there. But it's because guys love speaking to you. You are so relatable. Even Rav Nussbacher spends half the morning saying speaking to you. Thank you so much for all you've done in making our year truly amazing. Rav Nussbacher. Where do I begin? From the beginning. trying to help us grow and reach our potential with your not-so-subtle hints, followed by the, I'm not suggesting anything, I'm just talking out loud. You have a tremendous sense of humor, which enhances your already incredible, interesting sheer to the max. Pepsi Max. We all love sheer. We all love sheer and all the effort you put into it, even if it means being consistently sick for 6 months. Your mysterious nefesh gives us all great chizuk. You also try and make yourself available to have private conversations. Now, I use the term private loosely, as anyone who sits on the Sha'alvim side of the base knows that somehow you can always hear Nosbacher's voice. Rebbe, I've been having trouble with my morning seder for myself. Trouble with your morning seder for myself? Donnie Sha'alvim, who's sitting right there? Rebbe has helped us all grow this year. Rebbe helped us all grow this year, both in Torah, vis-a-vis our very deep knowledge of the first half of the first stop of Sukkah, and in our Avodas Hashem. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. We're going to now take a brief intermission. Just kidding, we're almost done. Before I finish, if anyone was offended by anything said here tonight, Rav Hutt edited my speech, so yeah. That's what I thought. On a more serious note, this place is such a great place. All their rebbeim are great in their own way, each adding his own talents to our wonderful yeshiva. Of course, the biggest contributor is our very own Rav Ben Yaakov, who single-handedly covers for the coasters.
Oh my God.
I know that next year, that's your guns, by the way. I know that next year, I will truly miss this wonderful environment. The great rebellion, the kind Rebbitzins, the freezing cold base measures, the swarm of flies on the coffee spot, and most importantly, Rav Gatz. Although no words have ever been exchanged between the two of us, it was that dance we had together on Yom Ha'atzmaut. I looked into his dreamy blue eyes, and I knew. Thank you to everyone in this room for making this place the best place in the world, and a place that is impossible to leave. But as we get ready to leave, we must realize just how different the environment is and make sure that we are doing all that we can to ensure that our Avodas Hashem only continues to get stronger. And as we leave, whether it be for the summer or for longer, we must take what we got in yeshiva and spread Torah and Avodas Hashem throughout our families, communities, and the world. Take the unbelievable potential and power you have and use it. Everybody here can change Klal Yisrael. So what are you waiting for? That's my time. Thank you. Close out.